Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Dr. G Cooks. So one of my friends suggested that I make a dessert. So we're going to do that tonight. We're going to make a super easy dessert, one that is quite elegant. Will score you some serious points with either your date or your small dinner party, and will look like you slaved hours over it. But actually this is one of the easiest desserts I know how to make. And the best thing about it is dark chocolate. Okay, that same friend mentioned how every girl loves dark chocolate, and I thought about it, and you know, every girl doesn't like dark chocolate, so that's a deal breaker. So don't go out with those girls who don't like dark chocolate. I'm sorry. So dark chocolate, girls who don't like red wine, and God forbid any person who drinks wine with a straw. Those are deal breakers. Okay, so let's get serious now. So let's go ahead and make our dark chocolate flourless torte. Okay, this is really simple. I'm going to go over the ingredient list first, and then we're going to show you step by step how to make this. So first thing you need is good dark chocolate. Now you're going to get 12 ounces of dark chocolate, and you're going to chop it up into small pieces. What I like quite a bit is this guitar, and it's a 74% cocoa or cacao. And what I like about it, it comes in little wafers already, so I don't have to chop it up. And I will warn you, as you probably know, the higher the percent the chocolate is listed as means the more dark it is, the less sweet it is, and the more intense it is with regards to cacao flavor. But not all manufacturers are created equal. So I'm just going to tell you without any bias right now, based on my experience, the 3 chocolates I like to use for this particular cake are either the Guitar, or Scharfenberger, or Valrhona. You will not go wrong with any of those chocolates. You will also need 1.5 sticks of butter cut into small pieces. You'll need 1/2 cup granulated sugar. So this is not a keto-friendly cake. Even though we call it flourless, there's still quite a bit of sugar in here, but it's well worth it. Just a pinch of salt, 6 eggs, large. You'll need a little bit of cocoa powder at the end to sprinkle on the cake for presentation. And really that's all you need. But at the very end, I'm going to show you, if you want to go one extra step, I'm going to show you how to make a really nice raspberry coulis. Very simple to make, and it just gives you a nice little raspberry sauce to put on the bottom of the cake. Really sets it off, makes it quite nice with regards to the presentation. For the actual cooking, I want you to get a 9-inch springform pan. I bought this one at Sur La Table, very inexpensive. You will need to set up a double boiler. So you don't have to get a fancy chocolate melting double boiler. I just set up mine to have one regular pan with water in it, about 2 inches deep. I turn it until it's boiling, and then I put my glass dish above it. Just as long as the water doesn't touch this, you're good to go. And then you'll just slowly melt your butter and your chocolate together. Once those are melted completely, turn the heat off, set them off to the side, and then we'll go ahead and get to our mixer. This cake, the preparation is less than 10 minutes. The baking time is 40 minutes. So you're gonna have this delicious dessert in about 1.5 hours because you gotta let it cool a little bit. And I think that should cover it. Let's get cooking. So you can see the water is boiling. It's only about 1 or 2 inches thick. So now we'll take that glass bowl and we'll put it over the top, and it's not in contact with the water, and then we just slowly melt this. Don't walk away from this, it's going to happen pretty quickly. So just slowly turn it and use a non-stick spatula. Big shout out to my friend Jess. She was very disappointed with the quality of my spatulas last Christmas, so she got me like 3 or 4 of these pink spatulas. So hey, thanks Jess. So you can see our chocolate and butter has thoroughly melted, and this is what you want to see, just this beautiful consistency. This smells so good. I've got to be honest, of all the crazy substances I smell walking around the streets in San Francisco, this is by far the best. So now we're just going to take this off the heat, put it to the side, and just let it hang out. And now we're going to move over to our mixer, and we're going to do the egg sugar mixture. So we've got our chocolate and butter mixture completely melted. It's off to the side cooling. And now we have our KitchenAid. You don't have to use such a fancy mixer. You can use a handheld, no problem. Inside our bowl, we have our 6 eggs, 1/2 cup sugar, and a pinch of salt. That's all you need. And then we're gonna turn this on to medium-high speed, and you're gonna blend this, mix it for about 8 minutes. You wanna have the consistency turn to a white, thick, frothy material. And then to that, we're gonna add the chocolate mixture, and then you're pretty much done. So let's turn this on to a medium speed. And we're just gonna let that guy go down for about 8 minutes. Okay, so look how frothy the egg, sugar, salt mixture is. So to that, we're gonna fold in really gently half of our chocolate. And you just wanna fold it in very slowly. And once it's folded in, then we're gonna fold in the remainder of it, and then we'll put that into our pan and bake it. Okay, so you can see it's all folded in now. We have this nice chocolate batter. We're just gonna put this into our 9-inch springform pan. And before you do this, get some butter and just coat the inside of the pan. That's all you have to do, nothing fancy. Okay, so the oven has been preheating to 350 degrees the entire time we've been preparing. So that should be the very first thing you guys do. So now we're just gonna go ahead and put it on the center rack of the oven. And then we can bake it for between 35 and 45 minutes. And we'll check it at about 40 minutes. And as long as the knife slips out of the center clean, we know it's done. Okay, so we took this cake out at 40 minutes and we're gonna test it. And you take a knife, slide it down the center, pull it out, it's clean, cake is done. So here's the bonus part of the meal. You've seen the presentation. This is how we got there. This is a raspberry coulis we're going to make, which is just a simple raspberry sauce, and there's a lot of ways to do this. Some people go to the trouble of making simple syrup first. You don't need to do any of that. Just take a little handful of raspberry, about 1/4 cup of sugar. That's all you need to do. Turn on your heat, and this is going to cook down really quickly. Once it cooks down, then you're just gonna turn the heat off and strain it. That's it. So this has been cooking literally for about 35 to 45 seconds, and you can see how it's liquefied, it's thickened, and that's all you have to do. We'll take it off the stove now and we'll strain it, and then we have our coulis sauce. So now you just take your coulis sauce, put it into a strainer, and mush it around so you don't get any seeds in there. And you can see in our bowl we have this beautiful sauce. It's nice and sweet and very raspberry and very fresh. This will go on the bottom of the plate for the presentation. Okay, so now it's time for the presentation. This is the extra. You really don't have to do this, but we're gonna do it for the demonstration. This is the coulis that we made. So we'll pour the raspberry coulis onto the plate, and then to that goes our cake. So we'll make a nice slice of the cake, and we'll slide that on. And then we'll go ahead and just put a little bit of powder. So the cocoa goes on the top. And then if you really want to make it pretty, you can go ahead and I like to put a little sprig of mint on there. So I'll just do a little piece of mint. And then a little bit of raspberry. And yes, I know you're all very impressed with my chopstick skills. I think I'm half Jewish and half Asian, so technically I'm Jasian. But this is the final presentation. I hope you enjoy it. I do want to give a shout out to our flowers tonight. These are from Poppy Cart, in San Francisco. If you need flowers, check out Poppy Cart. And that's it. Any suggestions from my followers? I'd be happy to hear it on what kind of dish you'd want next. Have a great night, everybody.